Happy Monday, everybody. I hope that everybody had a fantastic weekend and everybody's doing well on this lovely Monday. So, what I want to be talking about today is kind of a follow up to last week's Live Monday Music Motivation. So, first of all, welcome to this week's Live Monday Music Motivation. And let me give a little recap of what we talked about last week so that you have a little bit of context for sort of what we're talking about today. So last week I talked about sort of your musical identity and how we need to be careful of not identifying with our mistakes or with our strengths. Because when you identify with your strengths and say, oh, I'm really good at X, Y, or Z on the clarinet, then when you reach something and encounter some piece of music that you inevitably will, that it's too hard and you actually aren't able to do what you thought you were good at, then it's this like ego identity crisis, thinking like, oh, I thought I was good at that, but now I can't do it on this piece. So am I even good at it? Is my clarinet playing even worth anything? And then the other way, if you identify with your mistakes and say, oh, I'm just bad at X, Y, or Z, then you'll pretty much always be bad at that because you're kind of stuck in that loop of, I think that I'm bad at this, so I just accept that I'm not good at this. And when you turn anything into an identity, then it really tends to stick. And all of your sort of thoughts and beliefs kind of circle around that. And you're kind of in that rut of, this is how I play, this is how I am, and that's it. So I said, and I sort of was steering you away from, don't lean into your identity, add like a time modifier of, I'm not good at X, Y, or Z yet. So then it's not part of your identity, it's not inherent to who you are. It's just something that you're still working on and something you're gonna develop. And I kind of was really leaning towards try not to have any identity, and that's kind of the idea of enlightenment, right? Is we have no identity, we just truly sort of with equanimity, equanimously, one of those words, we see things as they are without judgment. And I think that's generally the best place to be in when it comes to playing and sort of assessing ourselves and assessing others as well. But there is one identity that I think it is helpful to lean into, and one identity that I think if we can all adopt this identity, then we'll get better. And that identity is more or less the growth mindset. More or less adopting the identity that you can get better. I am somebody who continuously grows. I'm somebody who continuously gets better at playing the clarinet. I'm somebody who can continuously make improvements to my playing and get more joy, more satisfaction, more high-level playing out of the clarinet or whatever instrument you play or whatever you're doing with music. And I think that identity of growth and improvement and making progress, that's a super beneficial identity to have because we move forward. Yeah, maybe if we're thinking like really pure enlightenment, probably that identity also has a little bit too much of maximizing in it and too much of always striving for better and striving for perfection, which doesn't exist. But I think that's a much healthier identity to say, I can always get better and always grow, and there's always more to go after. And there's two beliefs kind of related to this identity that I want you to sort of adopt and believe, and hopefully I can convince you that these things are true, or at least you can see how believing these things to be true would be beneficial for you. And belief number one is that there is always opportunity for improvement. There's never a time where we sit down and play through something and it's like, yep, that was good enough. That's as good as it can get. I did it perfectly. There is no such thing as doing something perfectly. There's always more opportunity for improvement. So that's belief number one, is you can always do things better. There's always more growth to be had and more refinement that you can go after. And it doesn't always have to necessarily be refinement or something necessarily being better, but there's always new and different and exciting ways to do it. And that's one of my favorite parts of music, is that there is this infinite skill ceiling, so I can always be working on it, always be growing, always be adapting, and always moving forward. So that's belief number one, is there's always more opportunity for improvement. Belief number two is you can make that improvement. And that kind of ties into the identity of that growth mindset and being able to move forward. But truly believing that you can do anything you want on your instrument. And I think this is probably the harder belief to overcome. It's obvious that, oh yeah, it can always be better. There's always closer to perfection. But really believing that you can reach that closer to perfection. Again, we can't ever be perfect, but we can get really, really close to how we want it to go. And whatever we can imagine, however beautiful and precise we can imagine the music to be, we are able to make it there. So that's the second belief. That's going to be a lot harder to get, but I want you to really experiment with that and really explore that and see if you can find that belief of, yes, there is better, and yes, I can get to that better with the right practice, with the right amount of time, with the right dedication and focus. You can reach whatever it is that you're striving for. So those are the two beliefs that I want you to really be instilling. And over time, as you really lean into those beliefs of there's always more opportunity for improvement, and I can strive for that opportunity and I can move forward towards that opportunity, then you'll begin to develop the identity that you truly can play however you want. You truly can move forward and be somebody who continuously improves in your playing. So I hope that gives you some good sort of motivation and inspiration on this Monday. Let's go to our template and make sure we fill that out, because that's going to be one of the best ways and the best things we can do to actually move forward on our journey and actually put those beliefs into practice of finding the opportunities for improvement and going after them and seeing us reaching goal after goal after goal and moving forward. So this is what the template looks like. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started to download this exact template, or just recreate it for yourself with the date for the week, reflection of how things are going, your goal for what you want to accomplish this week, and then most importantly, your plan for when you're going to practice, what you're going to practice. For me, when I was filling this out, thinking about this topic for today, I started with my reflection saying that this project that I'm working on, saying that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it up to tempo, or I'm not sure if it's actually going to be doable. But then I thought about those beliefs and I was like, well, if this is the tempo that the song actually goes and anything is possible and I'm able to accomplish anything, then yes, I can do it. It may take a long time. I might not be done with this project until the end of the year, but I absolutely can do it, and I absolutely can get it up to tempo and be able to play it well. And that's what I'm going to do. So I changed it from saying things are getting faster, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen, to it still needs work. It's not there yet, but I absolutely can do it. So in your reflection, in your goals, have that mindset, put those beliefs into practice now of like, there is better, and there is better that you can be, and you're absolutely capable of achieving it. So fill out your template right when we're done here, stick to it and reach those goals for the week, and just keep reaching goal after goal after goal, and anchor in those beliefs that you can play as beautifully and as well as you want. So thanks so much for watching today's live Monday Music Motivation. I hope that you all have a fantastic week of practicing, and I will see you next week for the next live Monday Music Motivation. Have a great week.